Joining us tonight, investigative reporter John Solomon, editor-in-chief of his new media outlet, Just the News. John, great to have you with us. More and more is being revealed, but it's great to have you. And more is being revealed, but it all is much the same thing. It's all about FBI official political corruption. And this is even more emphatically damning because it's very clear that the FBI under President Obama knew that a Russian intelligence operation was being run, a disinformation campaign, and with the help of an former MI6 operative who was at the center of the FBI investigation and effort to overthrow the president, the man who would become the president of the United States. This is outrageous, and it gets more outrageous by the day because no one's been held accountable.
Yeah, listen, in my worst nightmare, I could never imagine what would have come out this week. The level of information that the FBI had that raised red flags that they should have never, not even for a moment, entertained Christopher Steele as a human source, as a confidential informant, is now overwhelming. Overwhelming evidence. Let's think of the things we know. One of the people he was talking to was a Russian intelligence official who was under surveillance by us. They had a separate FISA on him, yet they were taking Christopher Steele's word that that was credible information. His other source disowned it. He's paid by Hillary Clinton. Some of his information is disproven right away. He exaggerates his record at MI6. All of these things came out this week. Christopher Steele should never have been shown a door inside the FBI. And instead, we sustained 2.5 years of an investigation into false allegations, put this country and our president through an unnecessary process.
Unnecessary. This was an attempt to overthrow the president. This was an attempt to align the entire FBI with Russian intelligence objectives and missions. And this should result not in a discussion about the unseemliness of a sordidly, politically corrupt officialdom of the FBI under President Obama. It should be about a sinister cabal operating in the intelligence agencies, the FBI, and the Justice Department to overthrow a president. And we have not been talking about the wrong things, but our leadership in Washington has been talking about the wrong things and feeding us pablum when in point of fact, they are refusing to bring these people to justice. And I say refusing. This is outrageous that we're having this discussion in 2020. Yeah. It's just outrageous. We're talking about 4 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's taken a very long time. And part of the reason is the FBI and the intelligence community are very good at obfuscating and hiding the truth, whether they redact things, claim they're classified, falsify documents, which they did in this case. They have done a good job. But I will say this, there is some fairly significant evidence at this very moment, this week, the last couple of weeks, Lou, that there is some criminal investigative activity that I think will result in some actions coming out soon. It's not going to be a lot. Don't expect 10 or 12 indictments, but there could be a handful of indictments and much more information. And I think one very important thing, the FBI had something right. There was a campaign that was taking Russian information and trying to influence the election. It just wasn't Donald Trump's campaign. It was Hillary Clinton through the person of Christopher Steele and his Russian informants. That has to be resolved. And one of the documents that are still sitting out there unchallenged, the intelligence assessment. Our intelligence community said that the Russians were trying to help Trump win, Hillary lose. That does not appear to be the case from the new body of evidence.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's been clear for a long time, frankly. I think this is just more evidence supporting what we already knew in my judgment. And I think the American people are just about tired of getting shined on and fed a bunch of, I'll be kind, pablum. John Solomon, thank you for making sure that we do know what's going on. Just the News, John Solomon.